Kingsman: The Golden Circle is once again directed by Matthew Vaughn and once again written by Matthew Vaughn and Jane Goldman, and it stars the humongous cast of Taron Egerton, Mark Strong, yes, Colin Firth, Pedro Pascal, Jeff Bridges, Channing Tatum, Halle Berry, and Julianne Moore. In this film we catch up with Eggsy, now a full-fledged Kingsman with a codename Galahad, but after the headquarters of the Kingsman is destroyed and the world is held hostage by a drug lord played by Julianne Moore, the Kingsman must venture to the United States and find their American counterparts known as the Statesmen, and these two elite secret organizations must band together to defeat their common enemy. If you watch my first video on YouTube, or my most anticipated movies of 2017, or my Geek Classic review of the original Kingsman, you guys know I was pretty hyped for this. And I loved pretty much everything about this movie. Right from the get-go, you are sure you are in for a wild ride and a fantastic ride just like the first Kingsman was, because Matthew Vaughn is back, and Matthew Vaughn has never come back for a sequel to a film of his own. And here he does, and he has the same flair, the same energy, the same artistic sense, and sense of action and style that he had in the first. The first sequence in this film is tremendous, and there aren't a lot of action sequences in the film, I'll tell you that. But the ones there are long, they are energized, they are unique unto themselves, and they do a lot with the action sequences. There are action sequences far different from the first Kingsman, and there are action sequences that are up to par with the church sequence from the first film with Colin Firth. And Taron Egerton is excellent as Eggsy once more. We get to see a lot of his personal life in this movie, and it was very surprising to me what they did with his personal life. We get to see him trying to balance being a Kingsman and his personal life. And honestly, it doesn't come across as that hard for him. He has joined being a Kingsman and in having a personal life, and he is good at it. But then comes some dark moments that really feed to the character development of his. Specifically, in the first to last action sequence in this film, Eggsy does something that brings a dark edge to him, mirroring the dark edge that we discovered that Colin Firth had in the first film, and I'm really curious to see if they do something with it in the future. Mark Strong shines in this film as Merlin as much as he couldn't do so in the first. He has a very good relationship with Halle Berry, and they are both very good in this film as far as their performances are concerned. However, I did really like the route that they took Mark Strong in this film. He is the heart of this film, truly. The Statesmen here are very unique and quirky unto themselves, but what I like here, and I'm not sure how other people will like it, is that this film is truly the Kingsman still. The Statesmen are supporting players in this film. They do not take over. They are here to help, and they have their moments to shine, but they are truly supporting players to the main actors and characters there are, the Kingsmen. But Pedro Pascal shines above all the rest. Halle Berry is there. Don't go see this movie for Channing Tatum, as badass as he is whenever he's on screen. And Jeff Bridges, he's funny. He's Jeff Bridges. He steals the show whenever he's on the frame. But Pedro Pascal is the one that is incredible in this film. He has one show-stealing scene where they try to recreate the bar scene from the first movie when Colin Firth first comes into the picture, and you think they are going to do the same thing all over again, and yet they don't. This film is as quirky and intelligent and as clever and witty as the first. The dialogue here is excellent. The humor here is excellent. The characters here are unique, and you can differentiate every character from one another, and they all have significant roles. All these characters that are here, they are important. And Julianne Moore shines as well. She's extremely over the top, much like Samuel L. Jackson was. She is this woman that is selling drugs because she wants to be famous, because she wants to live in the American dream, even though she's living among some ruins in South America. But she has built a whole shrine to herself of donuts and burger joints, and just, she is crazy, demented, but she has this gleefully delightful evil inside her, and Julianne Moore does the best she can with it. This movie does a lot in terms of stakes. From the get-go, you get to see the stakes are high, the stakes are serious, they are personal stakes, and they give motivation to all our characters. Very good and very real motivations. We all know Colin Firth is in this film, but besides that, there's not a lot I want to talk about because I don't want to spoil it. They give an explanation to this character being in this film, and I bought it because they did not over-explain it. They explained it, and they actually use it again again in this film for something else, which I totally bought. I bought it in this world of the Kingsman, and because they do not focus so much on that, but rather on the relationship that this character now has with others, I really thought it gave a lot of meat to the film, again making it personal and endearing and showing that these things have stakes for our characters. I do have a few gripes with the film, and they are very minor, but they are there, so I have to address them. Julianne Moore is very quirky, and she is very much a variation of the over-the-top character that Samuel L. Jackson was, so much so that they both have henchmen with bionic prosthetic limbs, and Charlie here does play a good role. He has his own personal motivations, he is not here just to be here, so I like that, but it's very similar and I can see a lot of people not liking that. There was a little too much Elton John in here. If he was a little less in the movie, he would have been more special whenever he popped up, but there is an overuse of Elton John in Kingsman: The Golden Circle. Kingsman: The Golden Circle does everything a sequel should do. It doesn't try to top the original, it evolves from it. It evolves its characters, it evolves their world. It gives them a brand new adventure that doesn't just try to recreate the original, it does always something new with it. Matthew Vaughn directs the shit out of this. Clever, witty, sharp dialogue and sense of humor. It is just as clever and sharp and intelligent. It is just as self-aware, just as funny, just as action-packed, and filled with lovable characters. Kingsman: The Golden Circle reminds me a lot of Mission Impossible 5. It starts off great, it ends great, and it has a very good journey throughout. It also reminded me of John Wick. I do not like it personally as much as the first one, but I enjoy both immensely, and I will end up giving the same grade to both. And so with that said, Kingsman: The Golden Circle absolutely is a collector's item. What did you think of Kingsman: The Golden Circle, my beautiful geekies? Have you seen it? Have you not? And if you have seen it, which do you prefer, the first one or the second one? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. You guys are the freaking best. I love you all from the bottom of my heart. And so until movie news, you stay beautiful, you stay geeky, and if you haven't done so yet, click the subscribe button and the bell so we can be geeky united.